Lillee Jean Talks Live.
Stuff like your brain has to go into a different mode, doesn't it? Like you know how to do something, but how do you convey that accurately? Like, do you vet people who join your thing very like precisely, or is like you could start with somebody who knows nothing and turn them into something?
We take everybody at face value, and whether they're experienced or not, what we say to them is, we don't care what experience you've got, leave it at the door.
Very cool. Hi,
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing
Yeah,
good. How are
it's
you?
Charlie Allan on most website stuff, but it's Chick Allan in the film industry. I was into martial arts from a young age, different, judo, karate, taekwondo, and then I got into the film scene, and I
Ooh,
saw, as an old friend told me to do, is stop and smell the roses. I do stop and I do smell the roses, and or
they
the
smell
thistles
good?
rather. Smell the thistle, and just look around Duncarron and kind of appreciate, what we've managed to put together. And I couldn't have done it without the help that we've had. The hours in labour alone
Right.
must must go into millions. If you go on Robin Hood, the one with Russell Crowe, there's a battering ram.
Oh,
Russell Crowe
cool.
donated, but he donated that battering ram to Duncarron.
Wow.
On Outlaw King with Chris Pine and everybody, and Tony Curran. They the production themselves. A good friend of ours, Danny McGrath, is a director and an assistant director. Donated trebuchet,
Okay.
so we've got, it's like a big catapult. It looks like it's weighted at one side and it's centrifugal force. When we were on the last duel, Matt Damon donated a whole bunch of prop swords and stuff, that you can
That's cool.
use in the background. They're not real, but they can still hurt when you get hit with them. I was sitting watching Braveheart, and there was
Okay.
these two chaps. Yeah, Braveheart. It's, we're not very proud of that movie as Scots because it's very historically inaccurate and it gets a lot of stick. But there was two chaps in the background swinging swords around in the air, and we call it fighting air, and having a laugh. They were actually laughing, and
Seriously?
at the time I was quite passionate about the fact that somebody had made a movie about William Wallace. So for me it was like, there's two lads having a laugh in the background. This is a £60 million budget movie,
Right.
and they had to use that cut because it was the cut they needed to use, and then lo and behold, in the background there was two guys larking around, which is
Ah,
the perhaps on the cutting floor didn't have any choice. It doesn't matter what the project is, we treat it with respect because we go in and get the job done basically, and
right.
create fight scenarios that are more convincing than what we witnessed.
Right. Right.
Stunt coordinators, CC Smith, guys that we grew up with on film set,
Wow.
from film set to film set, and it's just then we set up recently in the last couple of years we set up a training academy to get all our Scottish guys up to SPAC level, which means when they step on set,
They're
they've got
perfect.
a routine. Yeah, they're safe. They've got a routine. They understand the concepts of weaponry. Even though it might be plastic, you can still do somebody a lot of damage. So you've got, guys throwing swords back like this and not paying attention to a guy standing behind him.
Right.
He's getting in the back of the head or getting it in the eye. And these things are still pointed. Many different ways I have to teach it or say it till I find something that clicks in their psyche that makes them
Right.
go, ah, right, boom, click. I'm quite good at, seeing gaps without actually looking through the monitor. So, and we've even had instances where I've held my guys back, they're all ready to go, and I'm like, stay back, stay back. Even when the AD's saying go, I'm like, no, 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 wait, 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 wait. And then I'll see the gap, and then we'll run into that gap and fill it, and then they
Oh,
shout cut. And it's like,
interesting.
I've had people come at me going, "You filled a gap there that would have ruined the shot had you not done that." So it's like it takes a certain amount of skill and foresight together in there, and me as an actor and combat, performer, I was looking forward to that. It was like 72 moves,
Oh, wow. They
and,
count
and
moves? Wait, they
yeah,
count
and
moves
72
actually?
moves. Yeah, yeah, and it got broken down into little sets, and then they move the camera, change the angle. But you've got to remember where you left off and start again. They were more influenced by Braveheart. I wanted to build something that was a little bit more historically accurate.
Yeah.
Uh, And one of the guys that used to run around on motorcycles over a weekend, he was a guy called Ian Sotheby. He's an archaeologist, one of the top archaeologists in Scotland. And he gave me some information about duns. And, we started going off on weekends with tents on the back of the bikes and visiting these duns and brochs. And dun means fort in the Gaelic. It's still, like Dunfermline, anywhere with dun before it, Dundee. It's an old fort.
So it's Fort Karen? So like Fort Karen instead of it basically okay.
I wanted to build Duncarron, but I didn't want it to be somebody's fruit machine or somebody's, income.
Right.
It had to be protected. So we set up myself, my oldest son's mother, Pippa, and my mother. They set up this charity, and it was to protect everything that we tried to achieve in education.
Right.
So and we had to be a charity to get any kind of support. At least we thought we had a charity to get any support, and it never came. So, but we just pushed on and made our own, supported ourselves anyway, and tried our best to create as many activities as possible to raise the money for the charity, so the charity could fund the Duncarron project.
And schools aren't collaborating with the trust to bring this.
They come and visit. They come to Duncarron, or we go to them. We go into the schools. We take all our artifacts, historical, but we also take movie props for.
You actually have stuff there
for the fun side. Yeah, we've got a ton of stuff.
Catch up on Lillee Jean Talks live episodes on Lilleejean.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and basically anywhere you listen, watch, or see podcasts, or in my case, a celebrity talk show. Copyright 2025 Lillee Jean Trueman. All rights reserved. This short motion picture is protected by the copyright laws of the United States of America and all other countries. All motion picture material is on www.lilleejean.com. Any unauthorized duplication, copying, editing, colorizing, or use of all or part of this motion picture, including visual, audio, and all elements but not limited to, may result in civil liability and/or criminal prosecution in accordance with applicable laws. Below is the Queen Lillee registered copyright logo, along with Lillee Jean Production Service Mark and Lillee Jean Service Mark. Once more, all rights reserved to Lillee Jean Trueman, photographer of the imagery, audio, and visual pictures provided by Lillee Jean Productions and Lillee Jean Trueman from Lilleejean.com. No permission is granted for pirating, which includes distorting, editing, utilizing, colorizing, morphing, using an AI filter, and cropping, and using on social media. No third-party generative AI training is permitted. No usage of Lillee Jean Trueman's voice or motion picture is permitted. Any usage will be pursued legally. The Queen Lillee logo and registration are linked clearly on Lilleejean.com and can be seen in the Library of Congress. Only Lillee Jean Trueman and officers of Lillee Jean Beauty Inc., Lillee Jean Productions are copyright holders of the aforementioned imagery, vocal pattern, motion picture.